do you turn likes and comments into leads? How do you run the right ads that actually get you leads? Today, I'm going to walk you through the 6 foolproof ways, and I mean they're easy and foolproof ways to capture real estate leads from Facebook. Are you ready? Today, I am doing the Vault, number 3. I have actually walked you guys through number 1 and number 2. It's a 5-part video series. And today is the number 3 part. So we did strategy, we did audience. Today, we're going to learn how to build our list. We're going to walk through the 6, like I said, foolproof ways to capture real estate leads from Facebook. If you're here with me now, I've got a boatload of resources for you. If you're watching this in replay, again, I've got a boatload of resources for you. So if you want the resources, all you got to do at the bottom in the comments or to the side, wherever the comments are, is type in send the resources. And for all of you joining me saying hi, hello, good day, how are you guys? How is everybody on this amazing Saturday? I cannot believe it is the last Saturday of July. Like, it just was dawning on me this last week that, oh my goodness, summer is almost over, because typically in our area, like it just began, like really just began. The hot weather just began about 2.5 weeks ago. And I'm like, we're going to start seeing leaves changing the next 2 or 3 weeks. Like, it's going so fast. Does it feel like everything's going fast for you guys too? Do you feel a little nervous because we're still busy, but we're starting to come into that fall, oh crap, where's my Christmas money going to come from feeling? I'm going to show you guys, walk you through 6 of they're pretty foolproof. They're pretty foolproof. There are some things you can do to mess them up, but it's kind of hard. I'm going to walk you through those 6 foolproof ways. And again, I've got the resources for you that I'm talking about today. Everything that you need in just send the resources in the comments. I have to speak right. And Ribbit, our messenger bot. Now, he is a bot. He's a robot. So he only does what we tell him to do, and he gets confused easily. But he's going to send them to you via Facebook Messenger. Once you get that, you're going to get his little message. You actually have to say download, or I can't remember the word that he uses, but you actually have to respond to him to get the resources, just so you guys know. So are we ready to learn how to build our list? Are we ready, you guys? Oh my gosh, there's a whole bunch of you. Hi, Eric. Let's see. Holly, Eric, Catherine, Shelly, Tony, Amy, Karen, Tracy, Kim, Julie. Wait, I said Holly twice. Holly must be special. Christy, everybody, you guys are awesome. Thank you for joining me today. So how do you turn those likes into leads? Well, honestly, like I said, there's a couple ways. First, you have to understand the strategy of Facebook and social media in general. And the strategy is that you have to build an audience first. Like, before anything else, you got to build that audience. And we talked about that in number 2. And number 2 is actually on this page. After we're done here today, you can go back and watch that video. I'm hitting my mic. I'm bonking everything. So we have to work on building an audience. That is first and foremost. And you probably have seen a lot of people building audiences and then not doing anything else, or saying, I've built all this audience and nothing's happening. Well, there's one of 2 reasons. Number 1, they've built the wrong audience. Like, it's either a fake audience or an audience completely unrelated to what they're doing. So when they go to engage with that audience outside of the superficial stuff, that audience doesn't respond. So you have to build the right audience. That's in video number 2. Today, we're going to talk about how to get these people into our list. A lot of real estate agents are, and I admit I was there too. Gosh, a lot of real estate agents are always going for the low hanging fruit. I mean, gosh, we want the transaction like now, today, right? And we forget that building a know, like, and trust relationship actually takes a little bit of time. So, but we still want it now. We still want it today. So what we have to be doing is thinking about all of these layers in our entire our business process, our lead generation process, and all of these layers, including building your audience, building your list, and nurturing. That's why we're talking about all of these. Early next week, I'll talk about how to convert these people. But one of the things we need to do is be building our list, and we cannot think of leads that are not ready right now as junk leads or dead leads or I didn't get any leads. The thing is that 99% of the people that you come in contact with face to face are not ready right now to buy a house. They're not. Are they junk leads? Do you put them in your database? I hope you do. Do you send them stuff every 2 weeks? Probably not, but I hope you do, because you need to build that relationship with people. Yeah. We think of relationships as this, like, some of us, energy sucking, I got to put a lot of time into it thing. And the beauty about email and the beauty about Facebook and the beauty of Instagram and all of this online stuff is that we can create, grow, and maintain a relationship with pretty minimal effort. So we don't have to see them every single week or every single month, like actually see them face-to-face, one-on-one. We can give value other ways. We can build relationships and nurture them other ways. So how do you get people into your list? Remember, we're building a list of people who may be interested in buying or selling. They are locals. If they're not locals, they want to be locals. They are people who own homes in your area or who want to own homes in your area. They are people who they're thinking about it. They may not do anything for 2, 3, 4 years. They may do something in 2 weeks. But remember, you guys, out of the over 4,000 transactions that I personally lead generated in my 20 years in real estate, exactly one was texted us from a Craigslist ad, and 13 days later, we had closed on a property. Exactly one. Most of them, the bulk, were between 9 and 18 months out, which is why you have to nurture them, which is why we're going to do that in the next video. But I had some as long as 6 years. And even now, I have not been active in real estate, selling real estate now for 3 years. They're still converting leads 8, 9 years later that have come into the list and been maintained, nurtured. So you have to think of this on a long term. You're going to get short-term stuff, but if you only look at people who will get on the phone with you right now, you're going to fail. Like, you are totally going to fail. This is why it drives me nuts that the gurus tell you when you first get into real estate to only do open houses, only do door knocking, only do cold calling, and only work with the people who are ready, willing, and able right now. They're idiots. Like, they're idiots for telling you that, because you know why? You're going to be pounding the pavement, pulling out your hair, sweating constantly, stressed and feast and famine for many years in your real estate business. And 87% of you are going to be dead in the business in less than 5 years. Those are the stats. So how do you make sure that you are not one of those stats? Well, you start building your business. Yeah, you, at the beginning, absolutely, you should be pounding the pavement. You're building a business and you don't have any income. You need to get going. You should be pounding the pavement. You should be doing every possible thing. But you also need to be building your list, your long-term game, your long-term process. You're building a business. You're not just trying to get lunch for tomorrow. So that's what we're talking about. Julie, there's questions in the thing. I'm going to go through the whole video, and sorry, I didn't mean to yell out your name, Julie. I'm going to go through the whole video, or the whole training, because I got the training laid out for you guys. And then I'm going to answer questions at the end for you guys. So 6 ways to capture leads from Facebook. Remember, I'm sending you the resources because there's a couple of tools in here that I'm going to rely heavily on, which we relied heavily on. And I'm going to teach you how to find the perfect tool to make this happen for you. Okay. So the 6 ways to capture real estate leads from Facebook. The first way is to run just listed ads. Now, there's 2 different ways you can run a just listed ad. One way is to drive people to an IDX link, which requires registration. I'm getting into some details here, you guys. You put 2 to 4 pictures of the listing, the best ones. You put a little bit of teaser info, just enough that they're like, yeah, I want to see more. And you say, click here to see more. You send them to the IDX link. You make sure that that IDX link requires registration. If you are of the attitude or the mindset or whatever that you don't require registration on your IDX, go away. I mean, I just mean that you're not ever going to capture leads. There are places that you do not need to require registration on your IDX, but when you run paid traffic to a resource and they're asking for more information, that is considered a lead magnet. You stinking need to have registration on that IDX before they can actually see anything. Give them 2 to 4 photos in the Facebook ad. Give them a little bit of teaser information and then say more photos, more videos, whatever you have. Click here and go to that resource, to that IDX link. Okay. So you must require registration before they can actually get to that resource. So that the first way is you can send them right to the IDX link. The second way you can do that is you can do a lead ad. So all of these can be done in multiple ways. You can do an actual lead ad. So the first way is a traffic ad. The second way is a lead ad. And a lead ad would ask for their email first, and then you would drive them to, like, you'd ask for the email first, and then you'd set it up so it emails them the link to the listing. You do not want to ask for their email in a lead ad and then drive them right to the resource. Why? Why don't you want to do that? Because people fake email addresses. And if they don't give you a real email address, they ain't getting nothing. You're giving them something that they want. They need to give you something in exchange. So you need to make sure you set it up that way. The third way you can do it is to actually drive them to a landing page. And then they put their email in there and you send them the email with the link to the information on the listing. Do not require registration when they've already given you their email address. Don't do that. That's just annoying. So that's 3 ways on just your just listed. So if you got listings, you should be leveraging those and you should be running those as ads out to a pin drop audience, multiple pin drop audiences in your area. Ideally, if you're in an area where it's people tend to like, say they live here and they tend to move here, whether they move up or down, you need to make sure that if you have a listing in this area, you are targeting where people tend to move from. You need to make sure of that. Okay. All right. The second way is, I know you've heard of it, home value ads, but there's a caveat. Here's the thing with home value ads. Home value ads are often done so poorly that people don't get responses. You still have to be you're creating a relationship with people. People know the drill. They know when they say, what's your home worth, blah, 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 that if they click that button and give you their email, that they assume you're going to, like, I don't know, sell them and make them buy the Taj Mahal or something, like out of their control. People are weird about real estate agents, like weird, totally, because most of us don't ever follow up after the first or second thing. So I don't know why people are weird about it, but because most agents don't follow up. And the few that do, sometimes they're just like, they're like ridiculously annoying. They're only sell. They're not actually giving value and helping people through the decision-making process, etc. So when you're doing your home value ads, the key here, you can do it either using lead pages, like I said before, or lead ads. And I will give you the links and resources to all these. You can do it either way. But the key here is, do not try to be all things to all people. What do I mean? Well, when somebody has a home to sell, one person may have a 2-bedroom condo in a high rise. Another person may have a 5-bedroom McMansion on 2 acres. Another person may have a mobile home. Another person may have a 3-bedroom, 2-bath tract home. Every single one of those people has a different desire or motivation to sell. Every single one. You need to run ads that are focused on their desire or their motivation. For example, if you want people who are move up buyers, And actually, that's the next ad. But if you want people who are move up people and you want to sell their homes, then you need to actually say, hey, are you running out of space? Or you need to focus on why they would move up. Why would they move up? It's not just because they're making more money. Maybe it's because they have more toys. Maybe it's because they have more kids. Maybe it's because the in-laws are moving in or parents are moving in. Maybe it's because, my example, they work from home and both spouses work from home and both spouses need great office space. Maybe that's why they want a nice big house. What is that? The person who's in the condo, where are they going? Are they getting married? I know you don't know every single one, but what do they typically do? Are they getting married and want a house, move out to the suburbs? Or are they somebody who they have a 2-bedroom and they want to move out of the area? Are they moving into assisted living? What are they doing? You need to run your ad, each ad. So you're going to have to run multiple ads. These are home value ads, but you have to run the ad that caters to their desire. If you want to get seen in the newsfeed, if you don't want to get scrolled past, if you want to stop that scroll, you got to stop saying, hey, home values have gone up this much. What's yours gone up? People ignore those. You need to start going like, hey, did you just get jet skis? Did you just buy an RV? Are you tired of that HOA telling you can't park your RV there? Maybe you should sell and buy something else. Are you tired of all the noise that living in condos has? You know, your neighbor noise? Are you sick of living 15 miles out because the drive is 2 hours long, depending on whatever your drive is? You need to focus on what the desire is. You can run a whole bunch of home value ads, guys, just like listing ads. You can run a whole bunch. You are not limited. You're not limited to who you work with. It's just that your ad needs to be very, very, very focused, very singularly focused on that single desire. Okay. So that's why ads aren't working, because they're not focused. They're just general stuff. All right. Lisa says, if we're still building an audience, should we be running ads? Yes. Yes. You should, but different. I would run, well, we'll talk about that in a little bit. We'll get to that. All right. The third way to capture real estate leads from Facebook is move up ads. Now, I alluded to it in the home value ad, but that's a home value ad targeting a person who's selling to move up. Here's another way to target people who would move up. You call their move up ads. So so instead of going for the home value, do you want to get your home value because you want to move? You go for the desire. Maybe they need a 4-bedroom. And so you think of the different things. Maybe they need a home office. Maybe they need more yard space. So we're talking move up buyers here. So you run move up buyer ads, but these people, you want them to go check out what they could have. So basically, you're working on playing with their desires to change their lifestyle, their desires to become a different family type or different person. Again, I'm going to use myself as an example because that's the one I know the best. When we purchased our current home a year ago, yes, one of our desires was, well, guess what? I run a company from the house. I needed a nice big office space. My husband is a performer. He needed a rehearsal studio. We needed space for the theater. There were theaters that were involved in for the props and for the costumes. We wanted a really big, open inside home, open, spills out onto the outside so that we could entertain. Chuck does a lot of performances here. We do a lot of home performances here. So we knew exactly, we needed those spaces, those things. Those are all desires that you can target people in ads and show them what they can get. So for example, if somebody, you can think of somebody who just loves the outdoors, they love to garden, they love to do whatever, find homes that have space for them to garden and have that in there, all that kind of stuff. Or if they love to RV, find homes that have RV parking. That's the list. So you're going to do exactly like I said in the very first one. It's an IDX list of properties. You can do it 2 ways. You can run it through, run the ads, show people a couple little pictures, drive them to the IDX link, require registration. Or you could do it through lead pages and email it to them. Either way, that's what you want to do. You want to spark those desires. You just want to fan that flame. That's what you want to do. All right. What's the fourth way? The fourth way to capture real estate leads from Facebook is based on their interest or a geographic search list. So what do I mean by that? So one of our best ads was so simple, so crazy. And Facebook didn't actually have ads when we ran this. We did it on Craigslist. And it was literally, we live in an area. So let me explain our area so you understand this. We live in an area with lots of lakes, lots of rivers. But there's like one island. Okay. And one of the best ads that I ever run was, do you want to live on an island? That was the top part of the ad. And it drove people to a list of the properties that were available on that little island. There's like, I don't know, 100 properties on this one island. And there were usually about 4 to 8 available for sale. That very specific. So that would be an interest or a geographic location. You could do it by school district. Do you want to live in school district, whatever? Now, I know some of you are going, so I'm going to segue here for a second. I know some of you are going, well, can my IDX do that? You don't drive people to just a generic IDX search or ability to search. You have to set these up inside your IDX very specifically. And for that, I recommend IDX Broker. And I have the link in the resources for you. You need to be able to drive people to the exact search that you're talking to them about in the ad. Exactly. You do not want them searching for anything else at all. People are way too distracted. I mean, guys, we're worse than goldfish. We have like an 8-second or 7-second attention span, and goldfish have like an 8 or 9-second attention span. So like we can barely get food to our mouth. We forget to eat. We forget our kids at school. We're like, this is crazy, guys. So you have to make it like insanely simple for them. And you have to give them exactly what they're talking about as fast as possible, like as fast as possible. So you would do interest or geographic search stuff like that. You could do by neighborhood, by school district. You could do it by trying to think of different things. You could do it by parks. If they like to swim, bike, run, Ironman. If they like to swim, bike, run, if they want to be close to an area where they could just walk around, or downtown areas or sections, all of these are different kinds of ads that you can run. All of them. All right. What's number 5? How you guys doing out there? I got a lot for you today. This is a way lot more than I thought. I got a lot for you guys today. So lots of stuff going on. So if you want the resource, click send the resources. I'm going to send them over to you. All right. Number 5. Number 5 is leveraging lead magnets. Now, let me explain what I mean by that. First, what a lead magnet is. A lead magnet, I think I alluded to it in one of the first ones of these when I talked about your IDX link on a listing can be a lead magnet. Well, a lead magnet is typically like a checklist, a template, an ebook, a download, an infographic, something that gives somebody a valuable resource that they can tangibly use and access themselves. Sometimes lead magnets are videos or trainings or whatever. Okay. So let me just tell you right now, send the resources. That link, when you sign up for Ribbit, yeah, I'm totally giving you guys stuff, but in a sense, that's a lead magnet because I'm asking you to connect with me on Messenger so that I can then send this to you so that when we have video number 5, how to convert all of this, I can notify you. That in a sense is a lead magnet. So in a sense, I'm bringing you into my list. That makes sense? So that's what you want to do. Lead magnets can be all kinds of things. In fact, if you are a realtor, a member of the National Association of Realtors, then you have access to some already completed lead magnets, some things that you can use as lead magnets. So all realtors can access, I think it's realtor.org. And if you have your NERTS number, then you can log in, and they often have PDF downloads like booklets and stuff that you can download and email to your prospects and your clients. Things like distinct, how to know if you have lead paint. Let's see what else. I can't remember all. There's a whole bunch of resources on realtor.org. Okay. So here's the thing with that. you need to make sure that you find something in that resource list that's actually like people want to know, or you need to word it in a way that people want to know about. If you live in an area that has a lot of older homes, a lot of historic homes, then a lead paint brochure explaining what it is and what they can do to make sure it doesn't become a problem in their listing, like when they go to list or when they go to sell or with any type of financing, then that's a great place to put it. If you live in an area that is like pretty much the entire neighborhood is less than 20 years old, you're not going to have lead paint issues. So people aren't going to be clicking on that. So you need to think about what issues you have. If you live in a flood prone, if you live in a flood prone area, talk to them about what it means to have flood insurance, etc. If you live in an earthquake area, give them a checklist or a template, how to find good insurance, how to do this, how to do that. Explain to people. It's really interesting that people don't realize that you can't get flood insurance through anybody except FEMA, no matter where you live. So explain that to them. Teach them. People from all out of the area didn't like, we got flood insurance on our home. We don't live in a flood zone at all, but we have a pool. And if that pool cracks and floods, we're not covered. Well, we are now. We're not covered because we didn't have flood insurance before. So explain that to people. If you got a lot of pool owners, is that a rider that's included? Of course, most of the pool owners that I'm thinking about are in Florida and they have flood insurance. So those are just examples of things that you can create and turn into lead magnets that become a download that you then say, hey, give me your email address. I will send this to you. Those are the people that you're putting on your list. Okay. All right. Way number 6 that you can use to capture real estate leads from Facebook. Coming soon listings. Coming soon. You have to follow whatever rules are in your jurisdictions as far as your associations and your real estate commission, of course, but coming soon listings can be run the exact same way as a just listed. And if it's not in the IDX yet, then do the lead page, the landing page, or the lead ad option that I talked about with you in number 1. So if you're not sure, go back to number 1. So all of these ways, and coming soon, the same way. Tease people, let people know that the way to find out about these coming soon listings is to subscribe to your page. Like, yeah. So the way people get notified that I'm going live and doing a training is they're on my page or they're in my email list. That's how you guys know that I'm on here training and doing things. So the 6 ways just listed, okay? Home value ads, move up ads, interest or geographic search ads, search lists, leveraging lead magnets, and coming soon listings. All right, you guys, those are the 6 ways. If you want the resources, click send the resources. And for those of you who are like, dude, can I just get inside your membership? I forgot to get the link for you. I'll send it to you via Messenger. So if you want to know, we have the link. The membership is open through the vault. We actually have a vault of trainings that we're sending out for people who want to join. If you're already a member, you already have everything. So don't send a message saying that you want the vault. Just send resources down below. Click send the resources down below. And once you have confirmed with Ribbit and he sent you those other resources, I'm going to send you another email later this afternoon that you can get into the membership. All right. So Julie says, what is the sweet spot number of listings you can allow them to view before registration? When you're running an ad, it is 0. 0. No listings. When you are running a just listed ad, it is 0. None. When you're running any type of ad, you can let them see the list, but you cannot let them see anything about the listing. You want to show them what they're going to get, but if they click on it, you require registration. This is for ads. If you're paying money to drive traffic to this, you got to have that registration on. There's no freebies. There are no freebies there. Tammy wants to know if you can get inside my head. You'd get inside my head, Tammy. Let's be real about this, okay? You'd get inside my head and you'd be bald because my head's like a million miles an hour. Like I do a lot of yoga breathing and meditating to calm me down. It's crazy in there. Like it's crazy. You would go crazy because it's crazy in there. Good morning, David. Let's see. Lisa said, if we're still building an audience, should we be running ads? Yes, you should. You still got to, you kind of have to, you want to start with the audience, but you also need to be building the list and you also need to be nurturing. So we're doing all of these layers, but you start in order, but you kind of keep doing them all at once. So you're always thinking of the strategy, and you're always working on your audience. You're always working on your list, and you're always working on converting. That's the next video. Now, here's the thing about this. Okay. Once we get this built, a lot of this stuff that we're doing is going to work for all aspects. So you go from your strategy to your audience, to your list, to your nurture, to clients, right? Well, when you've also got this, so you go strategy to audience, and you go audience to list. Well, when people are on your list, they're also going to come back up here to your audience. So they're going to kind of rotate through, because you're going to let your list know what's going on out in the audience, right? So once they come down here to nurture, part of your nurture process is going to drive them back up to your audience things that you're doing and back up to your list things that you're doing. So all of this is going to become one big, huge whirlpool. I've used that example before. It becomes one big whirlpool. And eventually everybody's going to get touched on all these levels. All right. So Julie says 2 weeks, not weekly. I know what you're referring to. Your snail mail. This is physical mail that you send in the mail, should be every 2 weeks without fail. This is not email. Email, absolutely. Minimum of 1 time a week. Absolutely. All right, keep looking at the thing, the questions. Rick says, how far out should a pin drop be under just listed ads? So where are the people buying from? Okay, so in our market, when we were targeting, we couldn't do this with Facebook back then. So be that as it may, but if I were actively doing it now with investors, I knew the top 5 counties around the country that investors were buying from. They were buying in our market from these 5 counties. This was at the time, this was like 10 years, this was like 14 years ago, okay? Facebook didn't exist, so I couldn't do this, but we did do it via direct mail, and we did do it via the investor clubs. So we connected at the time, we connected with investor clubs, and we went and did presentations to these areas where we knew people were buying in our county, right? Right. Okay. So you can do that on Facebook now. So if you know that people are buying, you've got 3-bedroom, 2-bath. A lot of people buy 3-bedroom, 2-bath, rent-ready homes to rent out. In our market right now, it's kind of crazy, and they're buying again. It's a little high for investors, but they're still buying again. But here's the thing. When you know where they're buying from, you can pin drop that audience wherever they are. So one of the counties was King County in Seattle. That's 5 hours away from us. Another county was Ada County in Boise. Another county was Orange County in California, San Diego County, and then next door, Spokane County. So we had 5 counties that we knew were buying in our area, and we targeted heavily, Orange County and San Diego County. Those were the 2 counties we targeted the most, in Seattle. So, but those numbers, like all that stuff I just told you, totally different now. So the way you find that out is you go into the Census Bureau website and look at the migration patterns. Look at the migration patterns for that. So when Rick says, how far out should a pin drop be under just listed ads? It should be where you think people are going to buy that property from. Where do they tend to come from? If they're first-time home buyers, you want to be in areas where people are mostly renting. If they are move up, if you have a listing and it's a move up listing, so a first-time buyer wouldn't buy it, but the next move up they would, then you need to target where those homes are that first-time buyers own. Okay, so that's what you always want to be doing. Lisa says, so if I have a listing, I can run an ad essentially even while building my audience. Absolutely. Tammy, are you laughing at me because my head's crazy? Yeah, totally crazy. Julie says, do you use send out cards for the snail mail? Yes, abso-freaking-lutely. Yes, or a newsletter type correspondence. We used to just do individual newsletters or individual things, but I switched it all over to send out cards because it was way stinking easier. And they were getting like actual cards and things like that. Totally awesome. Jerome says, what about first-time homebuyer ads featuring 0 down? You know, that is a great thing. I think they don't believe it. A lot of things, I wouldn't even just say 0 down. I'll just say, like, I would go into more like buy a house with no upfront cost, no down payment, no nothing. Like, talk about all the different things. Talk about their credit. FHA, people with buying through FHA, gosh, they can have a 580 credit score and buy FHA. So a lot of people don't realize that they could have fairly poor credit and still buy a house. A lot of people don't realize that they could do, like 3.5% down, or even like I know our area has 0 down. I know our area has, what's called, I can't even remember what it's called now. We did several of these, but it's where there's an organization that gives a soft second, and they buy houses and refurbish them and then sell them as new to very low income people. And that's a really great thing. It's a very long buying process, and it can be very stressful, but it's a really great thing. We did several of them when we were doing it, or Chuck did, because they would have driven me batty, not the people, the process. That we had those, but you need to talk about this stuff. People don't realize, maybe they don't realize that the limits have gone up on FHA. Maybe they don't realize that it's honestly, it's better to focus on their desires, not the statistics, or I'm sorry, not the factual numbers. Like, people don't care that interest rates have gone up because they have no idea what that means. They don't believe our warnings that they're going up because, they don't believe us. So you need to do more things that focus on their desires. So if they're like, if they're like, man, if I buy a house right now, I could barely get in. This is all I can afford. And then you tell them, well, 3 weeks ago, you could have afforded this because the interest rates have gone up. So you could have afforded this. Don't hesitate, but make sure that information is factual and timely. Do not use the whole scaremongering, because that is why people think that real estate agents are used worse than used car salesmen, because they don't believe us. So do it in a way that they believe us. Awesome for Rick. Tammy says, not to mention, it sounds like stated income approvals are coming back. I hope not, because if you guys know, like, the California market right now is softening. It's softening. And they lead the country. They lead us. So I've been telling, for the last probably 4 or 5 months, I've been telling everybody that, well, it looks like we've got about 18 to 24 more months on our upward progression in our market, at least at the speed it's going up. And I'm like, we're either going to flatten out or go down. And the minute that news came out about California, I'm like, I called it. I knew it, because it's history. Every 8 to 10 years, this happens in California. Prices go whoop, crazy, and then they crash. Prices go whoop, crazy, and they crash. It doesn't happen everywhere in every other market, but we're affected. Our market is affected by it. Now, it was worse during the recession, of course, because anybody could get any type of loan. Like, you literally write on a piece of paper in Sharpie and say, I make $3 million a year. Can you give me $3 million in loans? Like, people were getting that. It was ridiculous. Hopefully they fixed that, so that's not happening. Now, I know you can't do stated income right now, but, and the credit requirements haven't loosened up. So we'll see. I know costs are going up, but anyway, so these are all the different things you can do. The thing is, guys, is you can use these are considered scaremongering to the buyer. They don't believe, my hair's driving me nuts. They don't believe what you tell them because they don't believe you. So if you want your ads to work, you have got to run your ads focused on their desires, focused on what they want, what they believe to be true, what they believe that they should be able to have. So that's why when I went through all 6 of these, I was very clear that it's about them, not about the interest rate, not about the 0 down, not about, we keep thinking in the sell this crap mindset when it's in how do we help them achieve the life that they want. That's the mindset that you need to be in to communicate with them so that they will listen to you, so they will stop the scroll. That is the key. That is the key. It's like completely separate mindsets. We're used to like selling our products or peddling our wares when we actually need to be solving their problems and helping them through the journey. Same thing, but the perspective is completely different, because by helping them through their journey, we're going to utilize the products that we have and what we know, right? We're going to, if people are like, I'm frustrated in this neighborhood, we've been renting, whatever, You're going to go, oh, okay, I've got this zero down loan, or oh, okay, I've got FHA, or oh, whatever. But they're not going to hear you when you say zero down or FHA. They're going to hear you when you say, neighbors got you down. Are you tired of the noise? Sick of living with neighbors who smoke? Sick of living wall to wall? Whatever those things are for that person that desire to buy their own house, that's what you need to use. That's where you're going to have your success. That's where you're going to stop the scroll. That's where you're going to actually get results and get leads from Facebook. Okay. Okay. So you guys, like I said, send the resources. I'm going to send you guys a link later. If you want inside the vaults, I'm doing something kind of crazy. I have taken some trainings that I have never sold. They've been bonuses to courses that I've done in the past, and they're the most popular ones. And I've been like, people have begged me to sell them. I'm like, no. So what I've done is I put them in the vault. And if you want in the vault here, like, this is crazy. The Facebook lead generator course is in there. That course is a $12.97 course. The Art of Nurture is in there. Never sold it. Would have sold it for a $4.97 course. There are 14 other masterclasses in there, but those two alone are like what, $12.97, like $1,700. I'm selling the vault for $297. $297, and you get 1 month free inside Leads and Leverage. So I will put that link in the comments for you. I completely forgot to do that, and I will send it out via Messenger. In the meantime, early next week, I do not have the date yet. We have people coming to visit us, and I need to make sure that I don't schedule a live stream for when the entire house is crazy. So I'm going to be doing video number 4 for this training, this vault series. And guess what we're going to talk about? Once you get people on your list, how do you nurture them so they turn into clients? We're going to talk about the nurture piece. The nurture piece. And then the number 5 is going to be the conversion piece. So we're going to talk about, well, nurturing is actually converting. So we're going to talk about that next week. How do you get those people that are on your list to give you a ring-a-ling-ling and say, hey, I want to buy a house, or hey, I want to sell my house, or whatever. How do you do that? We're going to talk about that. Kim says, it's great going to use the pin ad idea to run an ad to renters for an entry-level condo. Yes, perfect. Just make sure you focus on their desires. Like focus on, so this is kind of like a features versus benefits thing. If you describe a house as a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, fully fenced, RV parking, blah, 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 those are just features. But if you describe a house as room to grow, a backyard that every single dog would absolutely love, space to put your RV so you can plan those trips and fill your RV. If you talk about it through the benefits, like what it will actually look like and feel like, completely different responses. People are not into the facts. They're into what it feels like. They're into what it looks like for their life. That's what they're into. All right, you guys? So features versus benefits, everything. Facts versus desires. Guys, I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're an engineer. You buy based on emotion, period. A lot of engineers or a lot of people who think that they don't buy based on emotion, they're liars. They just don't know themselves. Every single person, every single purchase you have ever made, I don't care if you spreadsheeted it to Kingdom Come, your emotion drove the decision. Totally did, which is exactly why we all justify every single purchase that we make. We do it. So if you want to reach buyers that want to buy something, you have got to reach their emotion. You have to reach that. That's their desire, their reason for buying, or their reason for selling, etc. All right, you guys, it has been absolutely awesome. I cannot believe I've been on for 45 minutes. You are incredible. Thank you very much. Click send resources if you want me to send them to you. And for those of you who are going to join us inside the vault and inside Leads and Leverage, I got some stuff for you guys. Our members in August, we've got a whole bunch of trainings coming. We've got a whole bunch of members who are rocking it and sharing their secrets. So very excited for all of this. It's going to be an amazing last 5 months of 2018. You guys are incredible. Thank you for joining me. I will see you next week. Bye, guys.